Alright guys, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. Let's get started. So, how was the weekend, guys? Monday, being Monday, today we have to be a bit careful, obviously. Let's have a look at Spy. I've already created my watch list. I don't know whether I have actually shared this. Let's have a look. Where watch list? Let's have a look. Did I share it? No, I didn't. Okay. Why is my watch list changed? Okay, it should be this one. Yeah, okay, we got that. And we need to have gaps here. Very strange. My settings have changed. Okay. Spy, AWX, Masters, eBay, IonQ, GSK, and ROFV. Okay. I think that's what I got. So I've already posted the watch list in the Discord server under the watch list area, so you can check it out. But we do have AYX, MSOS, CBay, IonQ, GSK, and ROIV. We're going to look at that. All right. Okay. Okay, let's look at our where is it? CRNX, let's have a look at that. CRNX is gapping up. Really nice gap, beautiful gap. That's just from 40. Okay. And it's raised price target after some sort of treatment results. So this is biotech. Pharmaceuticals. Okay. So this might have a sort of a simple catalyst. So it might have a catalyst that's strong enough for, but the problem is it's actually gapped from 16 all the way to 26s. So that's already, the analysts have said 33, 35, all this, you know, it's always almost close to it. So I'm not too sure whether it's going to have any more momentum. We'll see. These kind of things can move quite fast, but I really doubt that it's gonna hold. We'll see. Anyways, later down the line I might actually look into shorting this thing, so I'll keep that. CRNX. What's up, Marcus? Mark your word. Don't get your what is that? Are you the mysterious one, by the way? I believe so, right? Welcome, by the way. Obviously, the rest of the crew is sleeping right now, so you're gonna be first for a while. Anyways, let's have a look at BLRX. BLRX. The BLRX had a okay daily actually, and it's been running for the past week. It's not too bad to keep on the main watch list, to be honest. So 1.3 all the way to 2.5s, and it's actually on the pullback sort of mode. And it's actually, the problem is it's gapped up really nicely, but then it gave up all of its gains. So we'll see what happens if this one, if it stays over 220, i.e. yesterday's high, 222, 223s, we will still consider this. I can put this on the main watch list because this can provide something, because there's quite a lot of interest on it. Look at the move and look at the volume. Volume peaked up, the move is starting to happen, so we could see something building up for the next week or so, as long as that 2 holds though. I mean, I prefer to trade something that's over 3, 2.5, but we'll see. Yeah, NPC name. Marcus, my words. That's a cool name though. Is it? Okay, let me just put it down. I'll make sure you don't hear it. How's this? Is that good enough? Or you don't hear it at all? I'm gonna turn it off anyways. This is just for the preparation. CHPT is something that I traded on Friday. We traded this thing. It was a beautiful trade. I think I shared it on the trade reviews. I've shorted it somewhere here, and then I think partial, and then I believe all out somewhere here because I had to go. So it was a really good trade. CHPT. I wanna trade it again, but the problem is it's kind of going way at the bottom. We will be like literally chasing it on the daily. The reason why I chose Friday to trade this was basically it had actually a dead cat bounce from its gap up, so it tried to fill the gap, it couldn't, and it was showing it's overall generally very weak stock, as you can see. So anytime the dead cat bounce happens the next day or the third day, usually gets a nice little continuation to the downside. We might get to see another continuation to the lows close to 5s. That's why I feel like I should be keeping it, but it's not as good as it looked on Friday. So same as before, the music. You know what? F the music. There we go. How's that now? Let me adjust my camera as well. My camera is not in a very good. I lost the lighting that I had. Somehow it's not working, so I have to buy another one. That's why it's gonna look a bit blurry / not very crispy. If I do this, it's gonna show up. Okay, maybe. All right. All right. Okay, good. So, I'm just trying to finish up the watch list for the day so we can prepare ourselves for the day ahead, which for me is about 2 hours of trading. TWNK. Okay. So this is gapped up from 28.15 all the way to 33.45. This is actually, wow, okay, the daily looks kind of cool. Whew, this thing has some strength behind it. So it's actually moved from 22s all the way to 28.18s, and it actually had a nice little pause, and it's basically gapping up to 33.4. So it's very strong. It looks extremely strong for the past week. The issue is if something looks extremely strong, then you have to think the other way. Something is, it just looks too perfect. So I'm going to be slightly careful, but this looks strong. So it's worth keeping that in the watch list as a gapper for the day. So that's that. This one is highly, it's actually broken multi-day, multi-month breakout probably. And it's trading at 33. What's the, okay, first of all, let's have a look. It's the consumer staples, food products. Okay, so shares are about not very. I'm trying to buyout. Oh, so this is a buyout. It's very strange because usually I can actually figure out what the buyout is. So this looks like a buyout. Is this a buyout? Acquisition news. Okay, so that's that looked very odd actually. So from this kind of move and then gapping up from 28s to 33s, yeah, it's so that's a buyout. We're just gonna leave that alone. TWNK. The rest, let's have a look at the gap downs. We have SLE that's popping up. SLA. Okay, SLE popped. These stocks are my basically stocks in play. So these stocks will have certain criteria that needs to be met. I find them through the scanners. I've actually shared a video about this one. It might be good for you to watch because it's free, and it's something I'll show you. I'll post a video link if you want. I just post this for you because it's a scanner from Finviz. That's where it's free as well. You can also write YB Trading and Finviz scanner. You should be able to find something on the. So best the top 3 Finviz scanners. Okay, so I think this one. How do I share this now? You can tell that I haven't done this for a long time, have I? Share. Okay, let's find it on the thingy. Alright, so it should be here. There is our FinViz scanners. I believe I might have shared it on Discord on the under the resources section, but if I hadn't, I should actually. There will be a lot of questions. So on these, it will give you an idea of what I'm looking for, and it's very, very basic. And I like to keep it basic because the problem with complicated scanners are that not everybody will be looking at it. So if you keep it very simple and making sure what the whole idea behind my scanners is because it needs to be in play. It needs to obviously hit certain things, but I want to make sure that it's as simple as everybody else finding it for free so that everybody could trade it and people, you know what I mean, like people like yourself trade it. And if people like yourself trade it, then it becomes a bit easier to trade against you. Hopefully you get the idea by hopefully you don't take it the wrong way, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I would rather trade against individual traders than big money, or smart money, what they call it, smart money. By the way, is the stream health okay? Because I think I'm getting a drop frame here. No, I'm not. It's probably the platform. Okay, so SLE, CHPT, and CRNX. CRNX. CRNX is okay. Why is SLE not showing up? This probably is an IPO. It looks like an IPO, right? Oh, reverse split. Super change name. So they've changed the name, Super League. To change name, implement 1-for-20 reverse stock split. Okay, so yeah, it's very tricky. These guys are being a bit too tricky. They've changed their name. It's quite clever as well. If you change your name and also do a 1-to-20 stock split. So basically, if you're trading, if your stock was at 1 before, after the reverse split, your stock is trading at 20, which I don't understand why they allow this to happen. Also, you know, your share size is cut down by 20. Obviously, that's it happens, but a lot of people will not look at those things, especially the beginners. So for me, it's not interesting. It will look like a big, massive move on this, but it's not. It really isn't. It probably was trading at something like 20 cents or so. It's not interested. So I'm not interested at all. The only gap I'm interested is this one, CRNX, guys. CRNX is the one that that was basically upgrades because of the certain treatment results. So this is the only one, and it's not the strongest either, to be honest. So analyst upgrade. I have no idea what acrom I can't even say it. Acrom treatment. I'm just gonna say treatment. results. These texts are for myself to know what they means. As soon as I look at it, I will know what they are, what the catalyst. So what I'm trying to do here is whatever gapper, you know what the gapper is, by the way? Marcus, I would say. Marcus, right? Time is it now? 9:05. So what happens is the gapper is this is the daily chart. Let me just introduce these charts for you. We have two charts, price charts. One on the left you see here is daily. As you can see right on my platform, right over here you see D. That would be daily, as you can see, and I can change it from here. So this is a daily chart. So each of these candles will represent a day's trading sort of prices. So these candles will represent the open, the close, the high, and the low. So 4 informations on each of these candles. Okay. Now the close on this one, let's say for example, on this one is 1596 or 16. Let's say 16s, right? I've kept this daily chart will show you the trading hours. Okay, there are trading outside of trading hours, which is called pre and post market. So right now we're looking at the pre-market trading. So what was the close on this one? 16. Okay, 16. We haven't gotten any trading anything yet on the daily. Why? Because it's outside of trading hours. The daily only prints the active trading hours, right? So once the market opens right now, let's say market was to open in about 20 minutes right now at the price of 27, 25 or 26s, right? So we will see the price jump from 16 all the way to 26 on the daily. Right there. You see where my text is? It's not even showing here because my text is written around this 26 level. So basically after it opens, you will see this massive gap in between. That's what's called gap. That's a gap up. The reverse is true, or the opposite is true for the gap down. Say for example, this was gapping down, or as in pre-market, this was trading lower than it was closed. Let's say it closed at 16. Now it's trading at 10 on pre-market. That is a gap down. All right. So now why does it gap up? Why does it gap down? Well, because this has news. Most of the time you will have something, a biotech firm will sort of put out a result of their sort of a beta or test drug or something like that. They will say, oh, we are seeing positive results on this drug, this and that. And then before the market opens, the pre-market, it will start to really move. And that's when the back gaps will happen, usually because of and the reason why I try to find a catalyst, you will always hear me, what's the catalyst behind this gap? Is because I need to understand how strong the catalyst is. And if the catalyst is very strong, then I can actually look into that stock for a possible continuation, which is called gap and go, or whatever you want to call it. Gap continuation, gap and go, whatever. So the idea behind, if this was a very strong catalyst, then I will look at 26 open, and then I will say to myself, well, you know what, I'll find a nice place to enter this because it's strong enough for it to continue. Gap continuation. It could go to 28, 29, 30s. We've seen that a lot. And it's not really uncommon. It happens quite a lot. But those are, that's the gist of it. There's more to it. Obviously, you will slowly learn by watching others like myself and asking questions. You've got to ask the questions and the right questions, which you will get there. So this is the only one that I'm interested in. Is holding its own, its gap. It's not faded off. So as long as I think 25 holds on this one, I'll look into maybe taking some opportunities, take some longs on it, but later after the open, not now. The rest of the watch list I have is, let's have a look at our watch list. With this gapper, say for example, this gapper is not a very strong catalyst for me. Let's say for example, I'll give you much better, clearer gapper maybe. Let's say this company went ahead and struck a $500 million deal, and it's already struck. Okay, so you will see the news here. As you can see, my face is blocking it, but let me remove my face, obviously. This here, you will start to see the news. So this news area is linked to this stock, and as news happen, it will just start to pop up here. So if I see, for example, there is a 300 million, 200 million, 500 million deal struck on this thing, that is strong catalyst. Okay, something like that. I'm just giving you an example. It doesn't have to be a money base. It could be another sort of agreement, or there sometimes you know, they are some catalyst, like buying back their own shares is also a good sign. It's not a very strong catalyst, but usually it's a good sign of a good company. They are buying back their shares, the publicly traded shares. So why do they do that? Well, it makes sense, because if a company is doing really well, they know it's doing really well, so they want to buy back their shares. Very simple. So something like that, you know. But eventually you will see me a lot of time talking about these things repeatedly, and it'll become a second nature as you start to follow. It will be a little bit confusing in the beginning, right? So catalyst is a big news that's going to affect the company in the future, in the near future, in the future. Think of it this way. Why would investor be invested in this? Why would I want to be with the big money, right? With the smart money, with the massive, the 1%, right? I want to be with them. So how would I be with them? Well, if this catalyst is very strong, they will get into that stock, even if it's gapped up, even if you think that, oh, investors usually get in on it right here. But what if they never had the chance, right? Sometimes they don't have the chance with the gap. So I want to be with them. The only way I can be with them is if this catalyst is strong enough for me to find that. So that's when the green light happens. Actually, green light doesn't happen. That's the, like, we've got red and amber. In UK, we have, before the green light happens, we've got red and amber. So when you have a big catalyst that's red and amber, you're pretty much ready to go, right? You're expecting green light. The green light will be on the intraday. This is your intraday chart, which means each of these candles will represent a 1 minute candle, 1 minute time frame of trading. I can change that to 5 minutes. That's 5 minutes. As you can see, it's shorter now. So on these smaller time frames, intraday time frames, I'll find a sort of my system, my strategy, a system that I use. It could be a breakout of certain area, a level bounce. It could be another type of strategy that I use for intraday to enter, just for entry. So I've got strategies for pretty much everything has to be involved. If my strategy A, if I'm taking that, then obviously daily has to be there, daily chart, news helps, intraday chart, certain patterns have to be there, certain areas have to be broken, this and that. So there's like, if this, then that scenario. There's a lot of them on one strategy. So if they all tick the boxes, then that's your green light. You don't think it's all mechanical. Well, obviously, I still struggle with, pulling the trade once in a while or pulling the trade late. That's human nature for you, but it makes it much easier if you actually manage to get your system in a mechanical way with a kind of like if this that scenario, right? The reason why I like those is because it makes me ready for everything. Like for example, I talk about SPY. SPY is the, you know what SPY is? SPY is the ETF for the S&P 5,000, right? 500, S&P 500, 5,000. What did I say? 5,000. Anyways, so this is the ETF for it, the exchange traded funds. You can Google that. Why that? So they're usually funds that's heavily reliant or heavily, what's the word? Let's say reliant on the main S&P 500. So if S&P 500 starts to go because it's the fund for it, this will go as well. So you will have, for example, gold fund. When the gold starts to, gold is gapping up today, as you can see. But this is the gold's ETF, so this will gap up. So it'll follow its instrument. So basically, there are what's it called? I'm losing it. Anyways, so ETF, exchange traded funds. Let's talk about SPY. I always talk about SPY. Why? Because it represents the market, US markets. Some people go to other markets like Dow Jones or Russell. They are specifically for specific type of traders. Russell, for example, is for small caps. But SPY represents most of them, to be honest. And I will look at the daily chart of SPY and I will start to give my analysis on that before the market opens for the guys who follow me. And I will give them 2 or 3, maybe sometimes even 4 scenarios, right? I will tell them, for example, if SPY comes down to this level, expect a bounce. And if it does bounce, we might see some more continuation coming to the upside because we have a gap happening today. Something like that, right? And then what if it does come down there and if it doesn't bounce? And then we will have to think about the other scenario, which when it breaks that level and continues down. That's the second scenario. And the third scenario would be, what if it doesn't come down to that level? What do you do then? So all those scenarios have to be thought in your thought process. By the way, I am overloading you with information. These things you might not understand fully. You might understand it now, just the basic of it, but fully, you will eventually understand it, and you will say to yourself, "Oh shoot, that's what YB meant by this." So, but people who are going to watch this, maybe recording of it or watching now, they might benefit from it if they're trading for like 2, 3, 6 months. Oh, to be honest, I thought I was a really bad explainer, but hey, thanks, man. It's good to know that. It's good to know. One thing I need to explain also is that short selling. Do you understand short selling? Because I'll be talking about short selling a lot because I'm 70% short seller. Do you understand that short selling? Because you have to understand as a day trader from the beginning. There's no way you should not. And then I'll go to my watch list. We've got about 5 minutes to explain this. Oh, awesome. So if you understand short selling, then that's fine. I short sell a lot of stocks. I'm heavily I lean towards short selling. If I have a choice to sell or buy, I'll sell. And the reason is, when you see something that's falling or that's going down, it usually is much cleaner, much predictable move because there's a lot of emotions behind it. When you see something going up, it's very slow, very reluctant to go up. It requires a lot of power for it to go up, but not a lot of power for it to go down. especially when the panic sets in, when emotions are involved, it's very easy to predict. That's why I like short selling. That's just the basic concept of it. There are more things obviously behind that, but that's the whole idea. Is that emotions, it's easy to take advantage of traders' emotions. Okay, so let's talk about SPY, guys. SPY is gapping up. As you can see, overall, generally, we have a long-term uptrend. A very, very long-term is uptrend, obviously, as you can see from years back. But medium trend also is uptrend, as you can see. And we have a short-term trend, which is here, I would say, or this one, you can call this one as well, but that already broke. So let's just remove that, and we can pretty much put another one, which will make this will make us our medium term trend. So all of our time frame is trending higher on SPY. So now, from the get-go, I'm telling myself, SPY is strong when it comes to a bigger picture. If you zoom out, SPY is strong. If you zoom in, SPY is still strong. The only issue is that we have very, very short term, which is very temporary. In fact, it's a pullback. It's a healthy pullback from this move. Downtrending environment, because we are seeing a lower high than the previous high. And that's just a common sense thing. But I believe that if this trend line holds around 440 is a very, very, very big level. Even though if this week we start to go down towards 440s and it starts to bounce from it, we might see a continuation to take that 450s, 452s out. So I'm generally 70% more biased towards the long side on SPY this week. Today we have a good gap going on. 445 was the close. Now this is a good example of a gap as well. SPY closed at 445.50 right there. This green line is auto plotted for me on the intraday price, intraday chart. So it gapped up from 445.50 all the way, now trading at 448. So that's $2.50 gap. It's a decent, healthy gap for SPY, for the market. So we're trading at about the actually high of yesterday, so which is a really good sign. If something breaks the high of yesterday, it's usually a good sign that that stock is strong. This is also gapping up way higher than yesterday's high. So now I'm thinking on SPY, what might happen? Well, we might see a continuation because we have a daily, long-term, short-term, medium-term, all of them are trending higher. So we might see a continuation this week. That's the first case scenario. As long as the VWAP holds or even that 200 EMA holds, we are good to go for continuation. What if it doesn't hold? What if we start to come down, break the 200s or break the VWAP? Then we might find ourselves a support at 447.11 because it's a daily level. Why? It's a recent previous day's high. Previous day's high, previous day's low, previous day's close. These three are very, very strong levels, okay? Very recent levels. So that's why I will plot them. I will let the chart auto plot it. So this is the low of yesterday. This is the high of yesterday. This is the close of yesterday. And this is the low of yesterday, as you can see. On my chart, you will see that. It's that important. So if it starts to bounce from it, then we could still see some sort of a chop. Either we will see a chop or we will start to really climb back up if this thing holds. Now, what if this doesn't hold? Then we are looking at a weaker SPY today, which means that it might attempt to gap fill. All right, that's the third scenario. So we'll see what happens, guys. I want to wait for what SPY does in the first 10-15 minutes, and then we will take it from there. When I talk about SPY, why do I need to talk about SPY? I am not trading SPY, by the way, the market. I'm trading big names like Tesla, AMDs, your Nvidias, your Amazons and stuff. If I have to trade the big names like your Apple, I have to look at SPY. What SPY is doing, what SPY might do, what SPY's daily look like. I have to put that into consideration, because Apple. Let's have a look at the others now. Let's say Apple, for example, right? If it lows, does this chart look similar to you? Right? It does, doesn't it? Look at that. On the daily, not so much, but on the intraday. Why? Is gapping up? Is gapping up? That's your yesterday's high. Is gapping up over yesterday's high. Same sort of chart look as the SPY, as the market. Look at that. Right? And SPY sometimes will lead those big names. Sometimes it will follow certain big names if they are very strong. But usually you want to keep an eye on the S&P 500 for your big name stocks. When do I bet for the price to go down? Okay, so that's a really good questions. Let me have a look at my watch list for the day. I'll find you a stock that I'm looking for shorting opportunity. Okay, now MSOS. First, I go to the daily. I look at what the price is done, and then I'll go back to the intraday to start finding the stocks, the entry points. So on this daily, as you can see, we've got a strong move with some decent volume, but I see kind of like a pause at the top. Okay, we might see a top right there. The price, obviously, candlestick pattern. There's a lot of pattern that's showing me that this stock might go down, right? So once I decide that this daily of this stock is looking good for a short, then I'll go when the market opens, or even pre-market, I will go to the intraday and then start looking for those patterns that I look for. The break of those patterns or certain specific price action has to happen for me to take that trade. So it's all basically quite mechanical. I don't leave a lot of chance for thinking, oh shit, should I not? You might notice the people who follow me is like, I'm not very like 50-50. Oh, maybe not. No, if there's a trade there, I'll take it. Sometimes I'll be, and those trades don't work out. But when I say that, oh, this looks good, usually it does work out because it's ticking all the boxes. What's up, Zell? How's it going, buddy? Did you find anything for you to trade for the pre-market? I've seen CRNX, but I wasn't really up for it because it's already gapped up too much. I think it's overextended when it comes to gap. The rest, I haven't really seen any other gapper. Maybe now something has happened. Have you noticed anything? SLE was popping, by the way. SLE. Oh, did you? Sorry, I don't. Yeah, SLE has gone down as well. So no thanks. AVTA. So he's posted on our Discord group. Let's have a look at general. Okay. Dude, this is for, you could post these things on the trading floor, right? Main watch from NBY, news with low float and no float rotation, how I played it. Okay, so you took these trades on pre-market, really nice. Okay, perfect. Yeah, some people will be done in the pre-market. DT break on NBY here. Awesome. So you traded already? Look, I haven't taken anything. Okay. Awesome. Lovely. So AVT is this is a pre acquisition. It's some company acquired this company. Let's have a look at NBY Zell stock. Beautiful, really nice. So gaps up. For a Zell, you do the right thing by actually staying up a little bit early for the gap, because when you get yourself involved a bit early on the gappers, you could do some decent sort of work with it. If you're late in the party, it doesn't work. That's why I don't trade the gapper too much pre-market. But looks good. It's only small price stock, so be careful. You have to be scalping as you do. So keep an eye on the level 2 and read it properly. Don't let me bother you. Let's have a look. Watch list. What do I put? That's exactly why I've been like preaching for the last 2 years, guys. Don't take the trade at the open. Well, for you it might work out, Zell, because you're a scalper, right? You have to be quick with your. Sometimes you have to be too quick because you can get involved in one of those that really sort of doesn't give you a chance. Oh, absolutely. If you just like you would swing, exactly. It's actually the same concept as you swung. You have a price, good price, and it's opening up. That's perfectly fine to hold it. Yeah. CRNX is trying to push. I think this is a good looking chart for a possible shorting opportunity. I might look into that. 26 got rejected badly. It might be late, guys. Yeah, it might be late, so well, we'll see. It might give us another opportunity. We'll see. SPY is kind of staying strong, but is rejecting from the top. So we might see. I think we might see a bit of a pullback on SPY. And depends how far it pulls back to, will determine how strong SPY is today. But Tesla and AMD is falling, which should bring down or at least affect SPY a little bit. So AMD is filled the gap almost. That is your gap fill right there. And Tesla is also falling. Tesla is in a really good spot for a continuation, to be honest. It's gapped up over this sort of pattern. And if it stays over that, that actually could be a good bottom, intraday bottom fishing. And SPY is really running for it, so Tesla could be a good one. Yeah, exactly. That's CRNX for you. I'm still like waiting for this to settle down because it could have that little push. If there's a lot of interest in it. Still waiting for it to form something. Yeah, initially the way it looks like, at the moment it's bullish for sure. It's strong. It is holding its gap up. The move down is weaker than the move up, kinda, but the catalyst was something I'm worried about, that it's already done its move. It's already reached where it should be for the day. But Sometimes stocks don't follow logic. Remember that, guys. It just follows what people are willing to pay for it. AYX. Okay, so AYX is gonna be really low volume. I know it's a really low volume stock, but I kept it because the daily looked really nice for a possible continuation to the upside. I have 3560 breaks, but I really don't like it daily wise. MSOS is actually going as gapped up. It's a gap up. So I'll be careful shorting this thing. Unless it takes out the low of day, I would not short it. And I have got CBay, which was what? Continuation, I believe. Or was it? Okay. So IonQ is looking good for possible long at the break of 1936 with a stop under 1925, 26, 10 cent stop basically. So I'm going to look into this IonQ, and this could be possible shorting swing opportunity as well if it stays above this 1935. I need it to stay above 1935 for me to be even considering NBY. Whoo, nice. That's a hold down. That's a hold down. Yeah, this is what I meant by Tesla. Nice bounce, isn't it, from that area? From this level here. Didn't even go to the high of day. Yeah, so it's relatively strong. Tesla is relatively strong. And the weakest one is AMD, guys. AMD might be a good shorting opportunity, but it's done so much move that yeah, it's done quite a bit of move, guys. Yeah, I think it might not give us a chance. Unfortunately, there was little area where I could have taken something, but it was too quick. So as you can see, AMD is getting rejected from this trend line as it goes up to these zones. It starts to get rejected heavily, and if it does go towards that hundreds, we might see a good bounce from it. That could be a dip buying scenario on AMD. Okay, let's have a look at CRNX. Okay, so that's actually broken the not really, not yet, but it's looking strong. It's got huge volume behind it. Yeah, it looks decent. SPY is also coming down, and that's what I meant. Like Tesla, AMD was very weak to get. SPY wanted to go. The market wanted to stay strong, but it gets pulled. Sometimes SPY will follow. This is the really good example. Look at AMD, right? Look at the move. It's gone from 107.50s all the way to 104.50s. $3 down without any pullback. Something like this, and also Tesla was at that point going down. SJM big gap down. Usually with a big gap down, I'm a bit too careful, Zell, because they usually come with a stronger bounce when they do. Sometimes they don't even come. They will give you some really decent PBWs, yes, for sure. But I'm just a bit careful because the bounce is could be very strong. Let me have a look at my, again, SPY is taking the lows out, lows of the day out. But as I said, we are considering this still to be strong because it's still a gap and it's still trading above yesterday's high. So we could be seeing that initial open drive weekend positions affecting it. But yeah, AMD is going crazy down. No opportunities on AMD. I was kind of looking at it. Possible. What has MSOS done? I don't feel like MSOS is a short now unless it takes, as I said, I'll put an alert actually. Remind me if you're watching MSOS under 870s, 860s, if it comes down there. MSOS. This one looks good for a possible short, but it's a volume. CBay is a continuation, which we might have missed, but if it pulls back here and holds, we might look into it. IonQ definitely didn't actually take out yesterday's close. That's a sign of weakness. This could be a good shorting day now on IonQ. So right now it looks good, 1904s. If it comes under 19s now, it'll be a good one. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, so this the only interesting one at the moment I find is IonQ for possible shorts. Let's have a look at GSK. GSK is a gap up and holding its gap. Yeah, continuation. This is second day continuation on GSK, but it's going for gap fill. Plus, SPY is very weak, so that longs are not really good at this point, guys. SPY is looking weak. Maybe SPY is attempting to go for a possible. Oh, this is looking not too shabby. ROIV. The only difference is, yeah, this is nice for a short, guys. 1245. I like this. 1245. I'm gonna take. Hold on, guys. $12.45 on ROIV. I'm looking maybe a little bit down. 12.43s, something like that. 12.43s. Let's have a look. All right, there you go. 12.43s, 43s, 12.43s. The stop is very tight on this, guys. Mara, okay, I'll have a look at Mara. I am in on ROIV 1243 with a stop either 1250 break or it could be the VWAP break. But I'll keep it 1250 break and then I can re-enter if VWAP starts to. Oh, sorry. Sorry. So 1243 is the entry on it, guys. And very tight stop. We're talking 1243 to 1250, about 15-20 cents. Although this stock is generally strong, that's the only concern with this, but it's a bit extended as well. So we might see some sort of a profit taking come in on this one. It did try to continue for the second day. It didn't, it failed. So that's why I'm taking it. Stop around 1250 break. Let's go. All right, looking good. If it breaks 1230, which is low of day, I'll be a happy bunny. Okay, so 1236 right now. Yeah, SPY seems to be showing weakness, so expect others to follow through. Look at the difference between the SPY and what is it called? The Tesla. This is what I meant. Like if you were going long, Tesla could be a nice little dip. Look at that Tesla go. Tesla. NBY. Yeah, NBY is just a bit low price stock for me. So it's popping ROV popping from the bottom. I'm just going to be careful that it's not a reversal. That's why I'm going to be keeping tight. Close eye on it, tight stop on it. Tesla is still trying to stay strong. Relative strength is definitely there on Tesla. Look at SpyGo. Look at SpyGo, guys. All right, so it's definitely attempting to. This is our scenario we talked about. It's going to break the view. Our first scenario done, and then we had this level that it might hold. We'll see if it's going to hold strong enough to hold. It's already done. I think it will because it's already done a massive move from its highs. We might see some sort of a pause here, guys, on SPY. So if you're looking for shorts on SPY-related stocks, maybe this is not the right time because you will be actually chasing things. Wait for it to do what it needs to do around this bounce. And if it's actually a reversal, don't take longs. Don't take shorts. If it's just a bounce, then you could wait for that pullback and continuation. So, yeah. All right. Yes. IonQ looked good for short, but it's just been a bit choppy though. I didn't trade IonQ. I just don't like the price action. Like it's just not clean enough. IonQ is not clean enough at all. Although right now look like for a good shorting opportunity on IonQ, but again daily is strong on this bad boy, so I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone, guys. I might actually take longs on it if it starts breaking 1936s, if it starts to hold anywhere here. So I need to keep a close eye on IonQ, guys, and to make sure I don't miss that 1935 break. ROIV could be a good one for an ad now because it's showing weakness for sure. GSK, that's not interested. So BLRX actually gapped and filled the gap. And CHPT. Oh, by the way, CHPT continuation, guys, it might happen. So watch out for CHPT. The one that are interesting is CHPT, ROIV, which I'm already in. So we'll see. ROIV needs to break. Yeah, that's the issue with the locates, isn't it? That's my main concern with low price stock. Even if you do find the locates, it's going to be killing you with the borrow fees. So, like for example, these ones are okay. Like they're quite cheap. CHPTs, your ROIVs and all that. So CHPT is looking good, weaker. There's a continuation from the main trend to the downside. It did its dead cat bounce. So it'll be interesting to see what it does. Let's go, baby. I need ROIV to break the lows very quickly. Tesla bounced really strongly, guys. So anytime SPY is gonna bounce a little bit, Tesla might go much bigger bounce. All right, so keep an eye on a CHPT as well as I'm watching ROIV. Yeah, it's just holding up. There's not enough momentum. There's not enough volume to be actually pushing this down. So it might come later. I'll just have to be patient with it. But stop definitely could be on the break of 1250. I'm gonna, on this one, I'm gonna wait for 1250 to break. I'm not gonna exit at the break of 1250. I'm gonna make sure that 1250, whether it holds or not, because there's a lot of levels there. First of all, 1250, second of all, VWAP, and then I don't know whether we had that intraday level there or not. So far it's looking good. Alright, just needs patience. Okay, yep, there it goes. Come on, don't be shy. Take that 1230 out and we're good to go. What else are we looking at? So RIV is still doing that, what it does. IonQ is chopping. What else am I looking at? CHPT was one I was looking at, right? I mean, on the ROIV, we're looking at like 10 cents for 100 shares, like a 0.001, is it? Something like that, very cheap, borrow fees. CHPT has already done a really nice move down. This is looking rather nice. Now we just need to be patient with it. What's happening? I just don't want it to go too far as well. That's the thing. And also, this one, my main sort of target on this one is 5s. But I need to be getting in about 570s, 567s, not here. So if it's gonna produce anything, it has to be on the bounce. We'll have to be patient with it. IonQ is bouncing, so as I said, sorry, ROIV. ROIV. You see, SPY. This is why you need to have those kind of sort of scenarios, like levels. This is the level that we were talking about. Mysterious one, I guess. This is the bounce that came in. Now, so far, kind of looks like a decent pullback bounce. It doesn't look like a reversal yet, but we might see some sort of a pattern that shows otherwise. but I need to keep an eye on my trade ROIV. So it's just lack of volume. Lack of volume. Okay, let's have a look. ROIV, I just don't like what it's doing. It should be going down. It's taking too long. No worries, buddy. Thanks for being here. I will catch you if you're going. I think it's late there, but we'll catch you some other time. Okay, so that's that. Okay, ROIV. Alright, so I might exit ROIV quickly, guys. I don't like what it's doing. It could be a reversal. If the volume comes in, that could be a reversal. We do have 1245s that might hold. Can't be too rushy with it. IonQ. Okay, IonQ, guys. IonQ. Possible longs. Possible longs. All right. So as you can see, SPY tends to be still showing sign of weakness. So actually AMD we missed it. AMD was a good one to short. Dude, that could have been a nice one. But it's still, is there still chance? There might be. Whew, that was a really clean one. That was a really clean one. We missed it, Zell. We missed the big one. So what did IonQ do? Oh, actually, yeah. So breaks it, which I wanted it to be staying over 1937. It didn't. So this is not a good sign for it. Maybe looking for shorts now. This kind of confirms the weakness on it. And to be honest, on this one, possible 2-3 days of pullback was due definitely on this one. So I'm looking for shorts on IonQ. And let's look into that, as well as I might give up on the 12:45. I feel like I want to give up on ROIV, guys. Ion Q, 1905s. So this one, if 19 breaks, it could have some decent continuation. Yeah, ROIV, ROIV. So this is kind of looking good. 1920. That 19 held though. I wanted to break that. I want this to get broken. We'll see. Still working on ROIV. Could be coming out anytime soon on this. Yeah, still surviving with ROIV, guys. That's the only trade. There's a good add point as well here. I might add to this because my stop is very close now, getting closer to 1250, so 10 cents, less than 10 cents actually. So can afford to add here if it gives me a chance. All right, so ion Q, guys, for possible longs, ion Q for possible longs. Actually, I might take it here. Possible longs, still a bit early. I would prefer it to be staying above these levels, but it looks kind of, I might start here, guys, on ion Q, as long as the VWAP holds. On 1935 break, I'll take some. Yeah, it's still struggling to take anything, any decision. We're still waiting. Maybe later on it might give us some chance to take something. Let's have a look at our list. Yep, this was a decent short. That is also, looks like a nice little, it's not very clear though. Rivian. Interesting. Rivian. CVNA. AFRM. This looks like a reversal. Ion Q bouncing 1910s. Why am I looking at this? I need to be looking at this. What has X done? Nothing. X is kinda looking interesting. RIVN looks, if it goes red to green. All of these stocks, I'm watching for possible long opportunities for a possible swing. If it goes red to green and holds that green, I think they all have entries on it. Like Ion Q, for example. As long as it doesn't break 19s or low of day and carries on and then reclaims, I wouldn't like that. If it holds whatever it's doing right now, if it holds what it's doing, then by all means on the break of these red to greens is a possible chance. DLO, same sort of concept, low volume though. RIVN, same concept, although RIVN looks more like a reversal now, but it needs to break that, at least the VWAP. Then we have that 2330, so I would really like it to be breaking way past the 2330s for me to take anything on it. I'm talking about swing plays. DLO, no. Ion Q, same idea, guys. I'm waiting for that 1935, 36, 40 to break. So I'll probably add early, and then maybe on the break of 1945s, 50s, I'll add to it. Just waiting on the price action, which we might not get today. ROIV hasn't done much. Honestly, it's like, it's close to the lows now, but you see volume is dying down. Just with these kind of volume, you usually don't tend to break it very far. Even if it breaks, is it going to break and how far it's going to go? 1230 will be an area where it's going to bounce from, even if it comes back down here. Yeah, it's dead. Unless we get more volume coming in, like just now there was some activity there on the tape. And if 1230 breaks, I think this has potential to actually do some decent move down, but that needs to break. It needs to break. You see, it's trying to go there, take some orders out. SPY might be slowing down around its weakness. Wow, CHPT, dude, it never gave me a chance, man. I was looking for a short on that bad boy. CHPT, look at this. I was kind of looking for a bigger, on this area, bigger bounce, 567, as I mentioned earlier. If this looks beautiful. As I said, 5 is the ultimate target for this for the day. It might not reach there today, but I'm pretty sure, well, I can't say pretty sure, but pretty positive that it might reach 525s, 530s, so which would have still been a really, really decent trade. Not gonna lie. All right, so ROIV finally broke the lows. It took out the orders here. As you can see, why there's some volume activity here. There were orders at the low of day, obviously, and it takes it out. Now, does it go far from the lows of day? I want it to go far as it can go, at least 1220s, 1210s. That would be nice, but if it doesn't, it has the chance to go back up to our entry. But it's looking good from our entry, 1240 to about 20 cents. 20 cents profit right now. Maybe less than that. I think IonQ has actually finally broken that 19 with decent volume, so we might see a continuation to the downside. From gap up as well, we had that, so we might be seeing weakness on this one today. As I said, due for a reversal. Not reversal, but pullback. Okay. What time is it now? 10:14. Another 15 minutes. I'm gonna wait for this to do something. Otherwise, I'll leave it alone. Ooh-wee. Seeing some sort of bounce coming in. Yep. I might start here, guys. Short IonQ. Shorting IonQ. I know it's a bit early, but it's a starter. 1892 IonQ short. I'm gonna add to it, guys. It's a starter. I still need this to break the lows, 1885s. That's when I'll probably add to it. What's up, Snicker? How's it going, buddy? Yo, yo, yo. Yes, let's go. What's up? Good to have you back. What you been up to, man? You disappeared. What happened to you? You been okay? Copyright strikes? What? What do you mean? Do you stream? Do you do anything? Oh yeah. You stream, don't you? All right, here we go, guys. 19 held nicely, so we might be pushing down. And as long as that 19 holds, we still have a short on it. And we might add to it. Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, ROIV, guys, it's looking good now. Finally, this is exactly what I was looking for from it. Now the volume comes in. This is what I wanted from here. It didn't, but the patience pays off, I guess, sometimes. So yeah, that's a good trade from 1243s. Now we're trading at 1219s. For this stock, it's a big number because it doesn't move that much, but looking really, really good. So time for me to take some out. I really wanted to go to 12s, around 12s. Maybe I take some out there. Now we are running a free trade right now. I'm just waiting on IonQ for me to, just waiting on IonQ to take the lows out. If it takes 19 out, I'll quickly get out of it. This is just a quick tester. ROIV looking good, really nice. ROIV, let's go, baby. Oh, really? What are you swing trading now? Investing? What are you doing? Okay, here we go. Our IonQ is slightly moving as well. What's happening to our Thinkorswim, guys? It's stuck. This should be moving down, guys. IonQ should be actually breaking the lows. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this for the other one. GSK? The hell? Yeah, there you go. That's what I meant. It should be looking like that, yeah. So IonQ is looking good as well, guys. And yeah, both of the trades are running well. No complaints there. The only issue is we might come into... IonQ is struggling to really continue down, which is a bit worrying. This needs to... And also I've got ROIV looking really good. I think I'll be done after these two trades, guys. Because ROIV I can take some, I want to take it around 1210s. I'm going to take some off on ROIV around 1211s, 1212s. Just a little bit far from it. I might put a limit order around 1211s. Yes, sir. Oh, nice. Dividend investing. It's a slow sort of investment. Yeah, it's not a bad strategy. Just a bit too slow for me. I need action. Yeah, so ROIV is bouncing a little bit, which is understandable. IonQ is bouncing from 1870s, which is kind of understandable. 1975s. Needs to break that again. We are still trying to hold that 19s. Yes. Just a bit slow. There has been decent opportunities. That's a really good strategy. And on my swing trades, I usually do that, but not related to dividends. It's to do with strong stocks, growth stocks, and anytime they pull back like 20%, 15% on the pullback, I'll try to dip buy them and hold. So that's a very simple strategy you can use as a swing trade or even investing. So, and if you've got a stock that gives good dividend, that's cherry on top. Right? So my ROIV should be taking the lows out now. ROIV. Yep, taking the lows out. Now I'm waiting for that 12.11 to get taken out for my partial. Hopefully this gets taken out now. I don't want to see the bounce. Hmm. IonQ is bouncing strongly actually from the lows, which is not good. We have a SPY bounce as well coming in. I hold the swings about, I would say, average a week. Sometimes it goes for more than 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But I think these days I've been like, the swing trades have been short. So the profits are usually in the first 3 days. And then we get, from a continuation, we get a kind of like a pause of some sort or a pullback, which I don't want to be in. So my strategy kind of is like a very short-term swings. Before I used to keep long-term, like we were like 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. That's probably swing trading / investing. Now is pure swing trading. So if a stock has momentum, decent momentum to push higher, I'll take that, and I'll sometimes get out next day with really decent profit, because that's the first 2-3 days I've realized that it goes proper. And only lately like the continuation isn't there even on the growth stocks. Like we push higher for 2-3 days and then we get a big pullback. 12, right? No, not really. It's sometimes I use options. Sometimes I'll use stocks. I don't even think about those things. I mean, that's just too much. If the stock has decent momentum and it's a good price, as long as the volatility is not really high at that time, yeah, it works out. I've traded PLTR quite a lot in the past. For swings, yeah, I've traded PLTR quite a lot. These days I'm not looking at it because there it goes, 12 tails. ROIV. So ROIV is really looking good, guys, for us. And the IonQ is not. IonQ didn't go far, so this is a chop day on IonQ. Not gonna. So this around what? Yeah, I'm out to 19 break. Sorry, I did think it late on it. Yeah, once the 19 was a crucial area. If it breaks it, then it's just, yeah. I'm still considering this to be, if it holds around 1940s break and holds, I'm still considering to swing it. So that's a very, very small loser on that side. But ROIV is looking really decent. As you can see, very big winner. I can take some out right now, 12.13. Yeah, I think I should. Yeah, 12.13. 12.13 ROIV. Took some out, guys. I don't have to wait for 12.11s. Got me fill on 12.14s. So. Right here. That's fine. Only 1 cent. Any losers? Yeah, IonQ, but a very small one. Like this is like a scratch for me. Why? Because this was a starter. This wasn't even full position because it had to. I started early and I was gonna add to it for the follow through. I never did, so this is just a break even for me. But I'm looking forward to longing this if it starts to take out everything, which is 1935s. That might be a bit later after the stream, but I'll keep a close eye on this one. This is one of my stream swing ideas. CRNX, what did it do? Oh wow, CRNX actually held this gap, so this might be looking into. Is it too crowded? Yeah, it seems like it. CHPT is the one I missed for a nice little short. What else did I miss? BLR, ROIV still looking decent. So entry 12.43 and 12.14. 12.14 is the first partial, and then around 12s I'll take another one and then let it basically trail me out. I feel like 12 is a really good area for me to completely take out everything, because if you have a look at the daily, it's done quite a bit of its ATR, so I think I might take 12s out. Yeah, IonQ is looking like it wants to push, but it did the same thing here as well. It fakes us out, and then here as well, so better to wait here. How is PLTR doing these days? I used to trade it a lot, like only recently I stopped looking at it. Looks decent. PLTR looks very decent. In fact, today, if I was looking at it today on this pullback to the yesterday's highs, 1560s and the VWAP, that would have been my probably entry, 1567s, 1570s. And then stop at the lows and then later run. This has really good potential for a possible swing even, right, if you had entered here. The other entries, I don't see much. There was entries here on this day, but it faked you out the next day. But today looks all right. The only issue is SPY is not really helping it today. Yeah, it's a strong look at this, right? Since it's bounced, right, every time it pulled back that 10%, it did a really decent move up, pulled back, decent move up. This time around, it did a big, massive pullback, which is probably 20%, 25%. And this is also a pullback, continuation, possible continuation entry today. Actually, it happened today, so makes me want to chase it for possible swings, but I'm not gonna. I haven't really done much studies on it or research. Okay, last before I go, I'm gonna look at AMD is also really good candidate. Just remember for the future reference, AMD is a really good candidate for possible swing in the future. When it starts to bounce off, I mean, here's the plan with AMD. If we get a nice decent bounce from a 100, I'll take AMD. I'll take AMD for possible early start. And then main concept is that 110 break and hold. And once it does that, I'll add full position. So bounce off the 100 if it reaches there. Now, if it doesn't and if it starts to curl back up around this area here, then I'll consider still starter on it. I did try AMD this day, I think. 108 around this day, I believe, and then I had to exit, I think, this day for small loss. But daily looks a good AMD, but short term, as you can see, very weak, very, very weak. Yeah, anything close to 100 is a really, really good dip pie on this one. Honestly, look at this. I mean, as these trend line gets created, and once it breaks it, a really decent move it does. This is the only time it's done a big, massive pullback, but that's why it's going to take a long time for it to break it. It might take a few weeks to a month for it to get there. It might play around this area, but once it's ready, keep an eye on this one, Snicker, if you swing trade. Yeah. Around the bounce of 100 and also a break of 110. That's my plan with it. So I don't mind it going down a little bit. The other ones you can also look at is this one. This one looks good for a possible long as well. Look at the move, really decent strong moves. Every time pulls back, carries on, pulls back, carries on, pulls back. This is a good pattern right now. Is trading a bit in between. So if it starts to break this, very, very good chance. Today, to be honest, I'm looking for this entry at the break of 282 if it stays above this area here. So it needs to take this out. It needs to stay above 282 for like 5-10 minutes, and then I'll look to start on this one. This one looks good as well. And also X is also not yet ready in my opinion. It needs to break that 3150. It's a slow mover though, but nevertheless looks good. RIVN also looks good at the break of 24, definitely. And the other one I'm watching is the DLO on the break of 22, but very low volume. I kind of don't like the volume on it. And again, this is the one that I'm looking for today, which is happening right now actually. So IonQ, if it starts to hold around this area for the I need it to be holding around 1940s. I don't want it to be coming down because the stronger level is here, 1935, 1940s. So if it stays above that, I'll definitely take and hold it. Yeah, large stock. I mean, they have been pulling down. There might be some great opportunity for swings, even investing in the next few weeks or so. Why? Because if you look at SPY, if let it load now. Yeah. So look at SPY, right? We had a really decent move and then pull back and then a nice short-term strength and then short-term pullback. So we are in this really nice little pennant or flag, whatever you want to call it. If it starts to take off from here, we could see another set of a series of days where we can see nice green on it on SPY. So now if we start to see these things, then we will start to see it on the big names, right? How is NVIDIA doing, by the way? NVIDIA is pulling back as well. Okay, so Netflix is looking good as well, but the entry on Netflix was these days, so it might be a bit late. Yeah, those days, I think they will come, but it's gonna take a while. It's like, it's not easy as before. Before we used to see a lot of days back to back to back to back to green. But you have to also understand that the environment we are in, if you look at SPY, I'll repeat it again, like we are in between a level that it needs to break for people to feel that it's broken out properly, right? Quite clearly we have like this 452 and 440 area. Let's say 450 and 440 area. This is a chop zone on SPY that needs to get taken out. Either way, up or down, right? So if it takes that 440 out, then the last resort on it is for this low. If that is taken out, we might be looking into a short-term downtrend, which in turns probably might hit 425s, 420s, things like that. But we'll see. I doubt it at the moment. IonQ, a starter here, guys, 1940. I'm a bit late on these calls, but this is for swing ideas anyways. I'll probably update you on the swing ideas, not day trading. So my stop is basically low of day. That's how big the stop is. So you can imagine it's like a 10% of what I usually take on day trades. So I might add to it as well in the next few days if it starts to take out that 20. We'll see. Yeah, Tesla is surprising. I was mentioning this in the morning as well, Snicker. Tesla is the only one I see that it has very strong relative strength compared to SPY. And I was kind of mentioning as well, we might see like this reversing a dip buying, but it was so choppy I didn't even like look into taking it. But right now it looks good. It's been holding, the whole thing is it's been holding its gap and it didn't go very far, as we are seeing on SPY being red today and a very weak, but Tesla is holding and it's actually green. So that tells you that, yeah, Tesla definitely is. Look at the gap, right? Look at the gap and look at how it actually held this gap compared to what SPY did, which is it's attempting to fill the gap, right? You see, it's almost went for it. The only thing was yesterday's high was actually being a little bit of a level there. IonQ looks good. I would prefer 19. This is looking good. As long as it holds over 1940, I'm good for the rest of the day. Yeah, it's fine. 1940s. That's the whole point, Sneaker. Don't miss anything that blew up your account. I mean, if something's working for you, dude, stick to it and really expand on it. Because if something's working, don't just stay there and say, "Oh, it's working." Might as well not change anything. Don't change anything, but add things to it, so you can actually really get expert on whatever you're doing. So INQ is good, doing really well right now. It's pushing 1980s. 1980s, nice. Yeah, I need that. I mean, on this one, I think 20 is a big level. And once it gets there, I think we might see a rejection, 20 level rejection. Even before that, I think it's not going to go as this has been a clear, straightforward up. Now look at this exit as well, guys. What an exit, right? Never came back down to really help us exit any better. So you have to understand what the price action does and the volume, and you have to be ready to pull it. That 19 break was clear sign. It should not have gone back to 19 for this concept. My entry, to be honest, because I was not very well paying attention to it, my exit should have been way before, right here somewhere, because it should not have gone back up if the thing was working for me. So yeah, that's a bad exit in my opinion. Still a good exit when it comes to P&L, but for me it's actually a bad exit. So now, if IonQ does a nice little pullback towards 1950s, 1940s, that's when, if it starts to hold that again, I might add to it for a swing. So this starter around 1940 break will be, I'll be swinging it as long as the VWAP holds for the day. Yeah, I'm waiting for the pullback as well to add more to it. But also remember, it's a second-day continuation. The only thing that INQ is telling me is that it's done quite a bit of move without a decent pullback. It did pull back, but it didn't do those consecutive pullbacks. Let's go, Zell. Let's go, baby. I like what Zell's let's go. Yeah, but wait for the pullback and also wait for it to start to really climb. So what you want to do is on the pullback, you don't want that pullback to be a reversal. So if the pullback is with high volume, ignore it. If the pullback is with lower volume, just like it's doing right now, you see, as it moves up, higher volume. As it pulls back, lower volume. So if that's the case, definitely it's giving you good signs that it wants to stay strong, or it wants to hold at least. So that's what you need to wait for. I'm going to be waiting for that as well. The others that I was waiting, I'm just going to confirm. SMCI is coming to that area as well, 282 break. SMCI. And X, not too sure, not today. Rivian is also looking really good right now. Yeah, Rivian just did a nice little reversal here. Entry was on the break of VWAP, but never got the chance. But it's broken that 200 EMA. The daily is in between the. Ideally, you want it to 24 to break, but I feel like I want to start. Rivian, I wanna. It's not the greatest looking daily either. If it was a better looking daily, I would have actually taken that right there. But it's not the best. Yeah, this guy I need to move. AMD is also kind of like a sort of curling back up as SPY is doing, so. All right, Snicker, I'm gonna be off, buddy. That's it for the day. Not very big things to show. From the watch list, CBay did a really decent move, which I didn't capture. MSOS did a really good move as well. I was initially planning to short this, but then when I saw that it's gapped up and it's holding its gap, I completely rejected the idea of shorts, which was a good decision because otherwise I would have been caught here somewhere. That is pretty much it. I think we are seeing a reversal on SPY, so that might be a good time for entries if we see on any of our swing ideas, just like we did on INQ. So yeah. Anyways, possible recession. I doubt that. Recession is a big thing. There's talks about it, but for recessions to happen, there's a lot of panic has to set in. So I don't think it has set in yet. I mean, look at the SPY, man. That doesn't look like a recession, does it? Right? Recession. You could have told me or asked me recession. Right in this, we talked about it anyways. Like these days we were trading together. And these days you could actually argue that there could be a recession. There was a lot of problems right there. There were a lot of more problems than today. So I doubt it. But again, we can't have a strong bias. We'll only look at the market's action and then react to it. All right, buddy. All right, take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a good one. Let's end this. Peace.